Hey everyone, a brief video, how-to video on understanding my learning plan. A couple of things. First of all, when logging into my learning plan, if you've probably noticed by now, Frontline is now the mother company to my learning plan, IEP Direct, and ASOP. So when you're trying to log into any one of those three sites, they're going to look the same. And what Frontline has done, for better or worse, is they've made their initial website, opening web page, look exactly the same no matter which one of those web pages you're in. So even though you think you're in ASOP or you think you're in My Learning Plan, you might be in one of the others that the company owns. So just to be sure, go up to the URL and make sure you just type in www.mylearningplan.com. Make sure you're in the correct website. And that also goes for ASOP and or IEP Direct as well. Once you're in here, you're going to type in your username and password, and you're going to hit sign in. And I'm going to walk you through how to put in a request to be an instructor of a course. Many of us this year have been doing classes, and it's been great, but just to clarify some questions, I'm going to show you a couple of things. Once you're in My Learning Plan, you're going to make sure you're in the Learning Plan tab, and you're going to go down towards the bottom under Activity Proposals where it says BSSD PD Instructor Form. And what that means is it's Bayshore School District Professional Development Instructor Form. This is if you are going to be the instructor of a course. Now remember, by contract, we are allowed to get paid for every hour we teach. And in addition to that, for every hour you teach, you get paid for an hour of prep. Please put that down when you get the paperwork from district, that if you taught 1 hour, you're getting paid for 2. There's been a little bit of confusion about that, and you should get what you're entitled to. So you're going to click on Bayshore School District PD Instructor Form, and to the best of your ability, you're going to propose your course. So say I'm going to do a course on understanding my learning plan, and then a description, review basics, whatever you feel would be appropriate. It doesn't have to be lengthy, it just has to explain what you're going to do in your class, and to pick a category that would be sufficient. And your maximum enrollment, that depends of course on the forum that you're teaching in. If you're teaching in a classroom, or if you're teaching in one of the little theaters, or if you're teaching in a lab, that's really up to you. You make the judgment of that. And right here is very important, the instructor. Don't just type your name in here. That won't do anything. It won't trigger anything on the background. You have to go to the drop down, the list of names of everyone in the district, and actually go and select your name. What that will allow you is on the back end, when you're logging in as an instructor, to get your roster and to take attendance, that's going to allow you to see those fields. If you don't select your name in this drop down, you're not going to see those fields, and you're not going to be able to take attendance. So I'm going to find my name, and I'm going to select it. Just make sure it's highlighted. You can also put your name here, but it's not important that you do. So I'm going to leave that there. And then how many meetings are you having? Are you teaching one class? Are you teaching one class that has 2 parts? Again, you make the judgment of that. So I'm going to teach one class, and my first meeting date is going to be the 10th. And I'm going to have the start and end time. And remember, it has to be outside of the regular workday. So if I'm teaching a class from 3 to 4, I would select 3 to 4. You can also do it in 5-minute increments. And the location. Try to be as specific as possible, especially if you're inviting teachers that may or may not necessarily be within your discipline and or your building. So I'm going to put the location. Again, you don't have to fill out any field that is not in red. So the provider would be Bayshore Union Free School District, unless you're planning a class from something else, which I don't think you would be doing this for. and a number of hours you are seeking for this activity. This is the amount of hours that everybody in the class is seeking, not the amount of hours you are seeking as the instructor, because again, you're getting paid 2 for 1. You don't want to put 2 in here because the program will give everybody 2 hours where that's not accurate. And then to your best of your ability, select the goals and objectives of where your class will fit in. So I'm just going to pick a few for argument's sake. And then again, the purpose should always, should always be 2 purposes here. Number 1, the 6-hour PD, and number 2, the 100-hour CTLE requirement. The 6-hour PD, because that's our new requirement for the district, and there's many teachers, as a matter of fact, the majority of the teachers in our district now have the CTLE requirement. So selecting both will allow them to get the 6-hour PD and the 100-hour requirement for CTLE hours. So it's important that you check both of those. And then down here where it says building restrictions, if you're doing a class that is, for example, anybody in the secondary level, secondary meaning middle school and high school, don't just select the school that you teach at. So if I'm a high school teacher, but I'm doing a class for any middle school or high school teacher, I'm going to select Bayshore High School and I'm going to select Bayshore Middle School because I want the teachers in those 2 buildings to be able to see the class offerings. If you only select the high school because you're a high school teacher, then the middle school won't see it. Same thing goes for the elementary buildings. If you're planning a workshop that encompasses all 3 primary buildings, you're going to select all 3 primary buildings. Down here is by department. If you're open to anybody in any department, you can leave that blank. If it's specifically for math or specifically for ENL, you can select those departments to be more exclusive. Comments are not necessary, and then you're going to hit submit. Once you hit submit, it's pending approval by the Professional Development Committee. They do meet several times a month and approve all the incoming instructor approvals. That's for being an instructor. Now, say for example, you take a class and it's not something that's listed in My Learning Plan. It's something that you take outside of My Learning Plan. It's something you take at a university or you take at Scope, but you want to get those 6-hour PD credits for. That you're going to go and fill out an actual paper form. And you get that paper form from going on the Bayshore School District website, and then you go to curriculum. It's actually under OIS, Dr. Maloney's office page. You're going to go under curriculum, you're going to go under Office of Instructional Services, and under the right side navigation, you're going to go all the way down to where it says Professional Development Resources. And then under here, there are links to how-to directions. There's even a list of out-of-district PD approval forms and all the information that's needed and the guidelines for our new 6-hour PD requirement. But I'm a teacher. I took 6 hours at Stony Brook on a Saturday, and I want to use that towards my 6 hours. So I'm going to go to the out-of-district PD approval form. It is a Word document. You can print it out. You're going to have to print it out because it has to be signed by either your director or your principal. So you're going to fill this out to the best of your ability. You're going to print it out. You're going to have either your director or principal sign it, and they will forward it to the approvers to either approve or deny it. I hope this was helpful. I know it was a bit long. I tried to make it as brief as possible. If you have any questions about approving, you can contact OIS, Dr. Maloney's office. If you have any questions about My Learning Plan, specifically about the program My Learning Plan, you can also contact OIS, or you can contact myself as well. Take care and have a great day.